or leaders to compromise when it comes to integrity, but we said that don't negotiate your integrity for anything. The world usually wants people or leaders to compromise when it comes to integrity, but we said that don't negotiate your integrity for anything. Don't negotiate your integrity and your character, because your character is the bedrock of your leadership. And so today we want to continue, and we want to look at why integrity matters in governance and influence. Why does integrity matter in governance and influence? So we all understand that leadership is more than occupying an office or holding a title, which we've said over and over again. And we also understand that governance is more than managing systems and enforcing rules. And we also understand that influence is more than persuasion. It's not just about persuading people, but it is the power to shape minds, the power to shape destinies, and the power to shape nations. So influence is not just about having lordship over people, controlling people, but your ability to shape the minds of people, to change the mindset of people for good, to be able to shape destinies for people to become better people, and your ability to make a nation become a better nation. That is what influence is about. And at the core of these three is integrity. You cannot become a good leader or govern people or influence people without integrity. Your integrity is what will make you succeed in every sphere of influence, every sphere of governance, and every sphere of your leadership. So integrity really matters in governance, because those who lead determine the environment others must live in. Those who lead are the people who determine the environment that other people must live in. So when leaders uphold integrity, their governance becomes a platform for justice, a platform for growth, and the flourishing of the nation or the society or the company or the organization. You understand? It matters because it determines the environment other people live in. And when leaders uphold integrity, their governance or their ruling or their leadership will become a platform for growth and a platform for the society to flourish, to do well. But when leadership integrity fails, your governance will then become a weapon, not wielded for good of the people, but for the benefit of the few. So there are many people whose governance has become a weapon, not positively, but negatively, for the good of only a few people and not for everybody, because they refuse to live and walk in integrity. So their leadership has now become a weapon. Your leadership must not become a weapon for only a few people. There are people who influence outcomes and events of a nation, and they are the people who cause chaos, misfortunes in the nation, because they refuse to live by integrity. So integrity gives leadership legitimacy. Integrity gives leadership legitimacy. A leader may gain office through election, through appointment, or through promotion in every sphere of leadership, but their legitimacy is earned through integrity. Your legitimacy will be earned through your integrity, because people naturally follow leaders they trust. Just as we said yesterday, people will follow you because they can trust you. So you will not earn your legitimacy by lording over people or by abusing people, but you will earn it through your legitimacy, through your integrity, and through your character that you portray. So when integrity is missing, people will begin to obey out of fear. When people do not obey you because they are influenced by you, it will be because of fear. And that is not true leadership. People will not respect you because they feel that you are abusing your leadership. You don't have legitimate earnings from them. Your integrity is at stake. So integrity will make people to love you naturally and follow you naturally. So integrity protects the public good. Integrity protects the public good. Leadership gives one person the power to affect thousands and sometimes millions. But without integrity, such power becomes very dangerous. It becomes a weapon. It can distort justice. It can exploit resources, just as is happening in many countries, and can even destroy lives. Can destroy lives. I recently heard that all the killings that is happening in Nigeria, there is a public figure, a politician behind all those things. So that person has used the position as a weapon of mass destruction, and is using it to distort justice, the peace of the people, killing Christians, exploiting resources, and destroying lives. But if you're a man of integrity, your integrity must protect the people you are leading. A man of integrity or a leader of integrity, he safeguards the common good of the people. Even when personal sacrifices are required, that leader is able to sacrifice for the good of the people. So integrity restrains the abuse of authority. Integrity restrains the abuse of authority. It compels leaders to think beyond personal gain. If you're a man of integrity, you think beyond your personal gain, what you gain from people, from the resources of the people and all that. And you begin to consider the people's hope, the people whose livelihood and their future depend on your decision. You begin to consider them because you are a man of integrity. Leaders with integrity do not govern from selfishness. They govern from stewardship. They are stewards of hope, stewards of possibility, stewards that bring hope to people, stewards that bring growth to the citizens, to the people they are leading, to the people who work for them, to the people around them. You are a steward to the people. Integrity builds confidence in systems. Integrity, it builds confidence in systems, because governance is built on systems, whether it is economic, whether it is legal, whether it is political or organizational. But you see, systems will only function as well as the integrity of the people who run them. If the people who run systems have integrity, then the systems will function very well. It will function very well. When leaders operate with transparency and moral discipline, systems become trustworthy and dependable. People can depend on the system because the leader who created it, who operates it, has integrity and is transparent and has moral discipline. And people will begin to trust the system that has been created. Many people don't trust leaders because they don't operate with integrity and discipline. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? When leaders manipulate systems for personal benefit, everything breaks. Everything will break. Corruption will begin to spread. Corruption will begin to spread. Confidence will begin to collapse. Progress will begin to slow. No development. People will begin to lose faith, not only in the leaders, but in the institutions and the systems that has been created. So integrity acts as a shield that protects systems from decay and preserves the credibility of governance. The credibility of governance will be protected because of integrity. The next one, integrity inspires ethical leadership. Integrity inspires ethical leadership. Leaders set the tone for others to follow. Leaders set the tone for others to follow, because people watch more than they listen. People watch you more than they listen to you. So a leader who walks uprightly doesn't just govern people, okay? He shapes their values. When people watch you more than they listen to you, your values will shape them. Your integrity will shape them. Your character will shape them. And with time, their values become your value. They behave like you do. They see things like you do. They are changed. Their destinies and their values begin to conform to your values. That is why when people walk around leaders who are corrupt, with time, they become corrupt. When people work with leaders who are wicked, they become wicked themselves. They become wicked themselves because their influence will affect their ethics. Your influence will always affect people's ethics. So as a leader, you must lead with an urgency to become a disciplined leader, a leader of integrity, because your leadership will definitely affect other people's values. Are you getting it? Leaders inspire others to act with the same honesty and responsibility as they project. So the responsibility you project, it will inspire other people. It will inspire other people. It will inspire other people. But the opposite is also true. Let's look at the opposite. Compromise from the top encourages compromise below. When there is any compromise at the top, it affects or it encourages compromise at the down. That's number one. Number two, dishonesty from leadership legitimates dishonesty among followers. When there is dishonesty at the top, the down also becomes dishonest. So as a leader, understand that when you are leading people and you are dishonest, your people will end up also becoming dishonest. Number three, unethical behavior at the highest level becomes permission for unethical behavior at every level. So a leader who don't have good character will encourage or will become like a permission granted to the people under you to also have bad character. So governance without integrity becomes an invitation for moral decline. It will become an invitation for moral decline. So let's look at integrity that strengthens influence over time. Integrity strengthens influence over time. When you have integrity over time, your influence will spread and it will be strengthened. Influence that comes from charisma is temporary. So your talent, your skills, your capabilities may be temporary when it comes to influence. Because influence that comes from fear is unstable. When people fear you, they will not be able to last with their loyalty towards you. Their loyalty to you becomes unstable and temporary because you lack integrity. So influence that comes from the position, from that position, will disappear once the title is gone. Many people lose people around them once they don't have position again because they were not able to influence the people with integrity. What happens after you have lost that position? Will the people who work for you continue to work for you? Will the people who are loyal to you continue to be loyal to you? The people who look up to you, when you have lost that position, will they continue to look up to you? That is a question you need to ask yourself. That this position that I'm having now and the people rallying around me, will they continue to rally around me even if I don't have this position? One day I met a leader who was an MP and he had become a former MP. So as I was speaking to him, I started asking him, "Oh, Honorable, do you have connection to this person?" He said something that I was saddened with. He said ever since he left office, nobody wants to talk to him. Nobody wants to associate with him. Nobody wants to come around him because he was no longer in office. And the question I asked myself, the people who were with you, what relationship did you have with them that their relationship with you could not go beyond the office or the title you had? It could be that people just rallied around him because of what they would benefit. And it could also be that whilst he was in that position, he did not lead with integrity. And so everybody was not loyal to him beyond his title. And that could happen for so many people. So many people. When you live or you lead with integrity, people's loyalty goes beyond the position. Even when someone replaces you, they will still be loyal to you. Are there not former presidents in Ghana? Are there not still people who come and talk to them? There are. Even some of the current president go to the former president for advice, for mentorship. So it should tell you that as a president, as a leader, when you lead with integrity, even your predecessors will still count on you. Your predecessors will still come to you for advice. They will come to you for guidance. They will come to you for mentorship. They will come to you. So, influence that comes from charisma is temporary. Influence that comes from fear is unstable. Influence that comes from position disappears once the title is gone. But influence built on integrity grows stronger over time. It grows stronger over time. Even after a leader leaves office, resigns, or retires, their words still carry weight. Their examples still speaks. So integrity gives leadership a voice that echoes beyond moments, beyond transitions, and beyond positions. So your voice will still be relevant even when you have retired, even when you have resigned, or even when you are dead and gone, because of your integrity. Because of your integrity. The next one, integrity ultimately determines legacy. Integrity ultimately determines legacy. Influence and governance are temporary. There is no influence that lasts forever. There is no governance that lasts forever. Unless, of course, you are the visionary of a project or a movement. That one, it lives whilst you are alive. But even that is still temporary, because one day you are going to exit this world. So no matter how many years you are leading a movement, or you are in power, in governance, or you are heading a company, an organization, your governance and your influence will become temporary. It is not permanent. But your legacy is forever. Your legacy outlives you. History does not remember leaders for their wealth. When you are dead and gone, they will forget that you were the richest man on earth. They will forget that you are the most eloquent man. They will even forget all your strategies that you shared and implemented. History will remember leaders for their moral foundation. That is their courage to stand for truth and their commitment to do what is right. For example, Nelson Mandela. Till today, he has been remembered for his courage, his confidence, his fighting spirit, what he did for the nation of South Africa. So what you did right and what you stood for, the truth you stood for, and your commitment is what people remember you for. Not your money, not your beauty, not your wealth, but your commitment to what you stand for. Your commitment to do what is right is what history will remember you for. Ask yourself this question: what will history remember me for? What will history remember me for? So a leader with integrity may not always be praised in the moment, but they will be honored in the long run. They will honor you, celebrate you, have memories of you every time, because they remember what you did for them. So a leader with integrity, their leadership becomes a reference point. Everybody will begin to use you as a standard, as a testimony that governance rooted in integrity can truly transform lives and nations. That is why there are leaders who have been celebrated in schools. They have been studied in schools. Till today, we still mention some leaders who made a mark. Some leaders have been written in books because of their integrity, because of the legacy they left. So your integrity will ultimately determine your legacy. Are there not people in history who led nations, but till today, they can never be remembered? Are there not people who led movements, organizations, but till today, nobody remembers them? Sometimes it is not only because they were not rich, but because they didn't stand for something that stands out, that people can remember them for. Now let's look at the moral foundations of ethical leadership. The moral foundations of ethical leadership. Every structure rests on a foundation. Everything that will happen rests on a foundation, whether it's a sin or unseen foundation. And leadership is no different from that. So behind every decision, every action, and every moment of influence lies a moral foundation that determines the strength and direction of a leader's life. So ethical leadership is not built on charisma or your intelligence or your ambition, but it is built upon values. That is the solid and timeless, unshakable values that guide a leader long before pressure or opportunity or temptation arrive. So we said yesterday that your values must be unshakable. They must be non-negotiable. Nobody should be able to negotiate your values, because it is your values that will build your ethical leadership. It is not going to be your gift. It is not going to be your intelligence, your beauty, or your ambition. Even your vision will not build your ethical leadership, but it is your values. Your values, what you stand for, what shapes you. That is what will build your ethical leadership. So leaders do not rise to the level of their intentions. They rise to the level of their values. They become their values, not their intentions. Your intentions are not enough to make you rise. Your values are what will make you rise in life. So these values form the bedrock of consistent, principled, and trustworthy leadership. Your values are the bedrock of your trustworthy leadership. Your values are what will let you rise to become a successful leader, a trustworthy leader, to become a leader of legacy, a leader who leaves a legacy that people can follow, people can emulate. So trust is a non-negotiable standard. Trust is a value and it is non-negotiable. Trust is the first pillar of leadership. A leader who cannot tell the truth cannot lead people. A leader who is not truthful cannot lead people. You cannot lead people into truth if you are not truthful. Because deception will create confusion. Deception will weaken trust, and it also destroys credibility. So, in the quest of living a moral integrity life, you must consider trust as a non-negotiable standard. Because ethical leaders anchor themselves in truth. Anybody who is an ethical leader, he or she anchors himself in truth, even when truth is uncomfortable. It is non-negotiable. They choose to be transparent over being manipulative. They choose to be honest over being convenient. They choose clarity over cleverness. That is the life of an ethical leader. Because truth protects a leader from hypocrisy and keeps their leadership aligned with justice. Trust allows followers to know where the leader stands, when the leader believes, what the leader does, and what they can expect from the leader. What they can expect from a leader. Number 2 is justice as a guiding principle. So number 1 is what? Trust or truth must be non-negotiable standard. Number 2, justice must become a guiding principle. When we say justice, it has so many meanings in so many spheres. Justice is more than fairness. Someone will say fairness. But justice is responsibility in action. So it goes beyond fairness. It is one of the elements that guides leaders. Ethical leaders ensure that their power does not create oppression, but delivers fairness to the people they lead, to the nation they lead. Because justice demands impartiality. It means refusing to favor the influential over the vulnerable. So when you are favoring influential people over vulnerable people, that is also injustice. It means to refuse to favor the wealthy over the needy. Where justice is present, leaders